Hello, welcome to Colonial RV, where today we're going to take a look at all the new features on the Winnebago Travato, the 2020 and a half. Now, why are we talking about a mid-model year change? Well, we're going to explain and show you all the new features, but before we do, we often get a lot of questions about why Winnebago has a model year and what does that actually mean. One thing that you're going to see when you take a look at a window sticker, as far as your registration and titling, there is no real such thing as a 2020 and a half. You'll see anytime you have window stickers, it'll always show you that it's a 2020. But we're talking about the features that Winnebago is putting in, which we're going to show you. And it's just a clarity, because a lot of times people want to know, does a 2020 and a 2020 and a half, do they cost the same? Well, Winnebago doesn't offer it for free, and one thing for sure is when they have a half-year model change, you'll notice that the MSRP naturally is going to be higher and it will cost more. There's one other indication that you can see when a 2020 and a half, Winnebago has an actual check digit. It's the 7th number in the serial, and it's either going to be a 0.1 or a 0.2. So sometimes you may hear it referred as a 2020.2 or a 2020 and a half. It does come across all four models, which is the K, KL, which we're sitting in, the G, as well as the GL. And we're going to just go ahead and take a look at all those new features today and explain them. Come on, let's go take a look outside. As we walk outside a 2020 and a half Travato, first thing we're going to talk about as far as the exterior colors. Now, for years, the Winnebago Travato has come in their actual silver, and they have the granite. Right now, we have one of the silver deluxe. Just as another option. And for 2020 and a half and moving forward, Winnebago is offering a few other choices. They have a deep cherry, which we've had in inventory and sold. The bright white is very, very popular, and that's what we have here. And they also have a Patriot blue. So you can get an order, or we have them in stock, all 5 of those different colors for the exterior. Now, one thing that's going to change from here forward from the 2020 and a halves is the blackout on the side of the van. Previously, when you get the deluxe, it would always have the blackout, which would basically give you kind of that streamlined window continuous look on the side of the van that did not come with a silver paint or a granite paint. But that's going to be standard regardless if you get the deluxe painted bumpers or not. Now, as far as another feature, one of the things that Winnebago is offering is a wider running board. So when you step out, you're going to be about 3/4 of an inch wider. And they also have the tread with the Winnebago logo. You can see that that's embossed in that rubber tread. And they also have a nice little pet loop or a leash holder on the back and the front of the new running board. Or you can hook up your bicycles if you're out camping, or if it's windy, you can fly a kite from it. But this is a new running board that will be standard. Again, all these features that we're talking about right now are standard going forward on the 2020 and a halves. There are a few additional options, which we'll get to at the end of the video. Next option, which you're going to see, and again, it's something that's new. They used to have the Carefree silver awnings, which was standard, and it came included with every Travato, but now they have the new black. This is an upgraded Carefree awning. It has a faster motor, so when it does get really windy and you couldn't get back in time, the nice thing is when you push the button, that awning will go in quicker. And there's a really other cool feature. I love technology. It's Bluetooth. You can easily pair your phone to control the awnings. It's a very, very simple step. We can even do it here. All you're going to do to activate, and all of these instructions are in the manual, you would just turn the power on for the awning. You're going to actually control it, take it out just to get the motor going. You could stop it. You're going to put the motor back in and hold that for about 3 seconds. That's now going to put us into a pairing mode, and we can then go to the Carefree app on our phone. As you can see, I've actually already paired this prior, and once you have it paired, you can not only control the awning that's going to extend, you can also control the lights. The nice thing is I'm just connecting now. See, we're just controlling it with our phone, extending it, and then you can retract it, and you no longer have to be dependent on the buttons. The really other cool feature is you can control the lighting at night. The LED lights would just normally be a bright light with the on and off switch, but with your Carefree awning, with the application on your smartphone, you can actually dim them at night. So it's a pretty cool feature with the awnings. Now, there's one other feature that's standard now, and what Winnebago does, they've been making Travatos, and they're very, very active on their forums and listening to customers. For years, customers have been adding sumo springs to their Travatos. So what Winnebago does is they've now added it to all the vehicles in production going forward. There's two kits, one for the front and one for the rear. They're two different kits. The front are black sumo springs. The rear are yellow. The front are 3 1/4 inches in height and the rear are 5 inches. And what that's going to do for the driver is just give you a little bit more control and comfort to remove some of the sway around turns. And it will also just give you a little bit more ground clearance. So it's something that has been used and retrofitted by other Travato customers for a number of years now, but Winnebago listened and they're now putting them on going forward. There's one, again, everything I've been talking about has been standard new features. I'm going to show you one other that's now an option, which is the side roll-left screens. These screens are actually a magnetic enclosure. Right now we have it rolled up, but these are Canadian manufactured, and when you actually bring them down, just show you real quick. You no longer have to use the zippers to go in and out. You can just push it with this very strong magnetic closure. This is what is a new side roll-left screen option that we've added on the 2020 and a half instead of just the standard pull screen door that has been used for years. The next thing we're going to show you on the exterior to finish is we're going to go up on the roof and show you something new with the racks. Come on, let's take a look. So we're on the roof of the new 2020 and a half Travato because we want to demonstrate something. All of the racks, the Summit racks that Winnebago has, you can see they've mounted the solar panels to, and RV users and customers often are using these racks for installing any type of kayak or surfboard racks. Sometimes they'll add bike racks, skis, snowboards. They no longer have the plastic fittings. These are all new. These are metal fittings, which are going to be naturally a little bit sturdier for longevity as well. And one other thing, which you can see right up here, Winnebago has now added a wire access port from inside one of the cabinets. They put a hole through the roof, and naturally it's sealed, but it's a point where if somebody wanted to run wiring to the roof or adding any type of accessories as far as Wi-Fi boosters or satellites, it's a nice, quick, easy access point. So Winnebago is just doing that at the factory to get you going and also to avoid any further drainage or water problems when someone would put a hole through it aftermarket. Now we're going to go back inside and take a look at all the new standard features on the interior. Now that we're inside the 2020 and a half Travato, we're going to show you what's standard now and going forward. First thing you're going to get to notice, there's different cabinets. The Noche cabinets have been replaced with a nice grained walnut. You can see it's a little bit darker, it adds a little bit more of a class, and it is something that Winnebago is adding in some of their other motorhomes in the Class Bs and Cs. In the other Travato that we just were in, which is a 2020 and a half, was the first option, which is the high gloss macchiato. Now you have this nice beautiful walnut cabinetry. Now, in addition to showing you a few other options here in a second, there's one that we cannot show you currently because we can't take the walls off. Winnebago now is installing a new insulation, which is an automotive grade, and what it's going to do is just going to give RV users and customers a little bit more of an extended stay in the colder and winter months. In addition, it's also going to make it quieter as like a sound deadening. So it's something that has been added, and we can show you a picture of it here from the factory real quick, and just to give you an idea of what will be new going forward. Now, another feature that's new is going to be their Coleman Mach, their N10 NDQ, which is non-ducted, quiet, new roof air conditioner. It is quieter than they were in the last model, actually a year ago. And the nice thing is you're also going to have Bluetooth capability. Just like I showed you with my phone on an app going outside for the Carefree awning, you can now just download it's actually the, let me just pull it up, the Excel, and it's the Coleman Mach. You can now control that roof air conditioner when you're inside and right outside the vehicle, setting it for a temperature which the compressor will go on and off once it reaches the temperature that you desire. Another nice feature, which we've also retrofitted to other Travatos, are these new these little basket keepers. I call them trapper keepers, just showing my age, but you can put anything you want, your cell phone, glasses, a light book, or anything that you want to keep, keys, and you can also run a wire for charging at night. You're going to see that they've added 2 on both sides, and they just lightly will go up and lock in, and they'll be out of your way. So that's a nice feature, and customers have been asking Winnebago to add something like that, so they just did it. You're going to also see they have the Ram Tough Track mounts that have been used in the Revel and the Bolt and other motorhomes with Winnebago. You can then install anything that you'd like as far as an iPad holder, or you can put your cell phone, or even a nice speaker that will be Bluetooth. You can also hook that up, and you can hang anything from both sides of the Travato. Lastly, for the lithium models, which would be the KL and GL, Winnebago has now changed the alternator from 120 to 160 amp, and they've also added, very similar to the heated holding tanks, they've also now are heating the lithium battery pack just to get it up to temperature when you're using it in colder climates. That is something that you do not have to turn the switch on and off. It will be automatic. And one last feature that's new, they've changed the actual state of charge gauge. When you walk inside the Travato up here, normally it would show you the charge, and with the lithium battery, they are going to have a reserve. So it's taking that off, and it's going to actually show you what your usable energy is. And if it is too cold, the green light will actually turn blue, and it'll show you that right now the batteries are just too cold until they get up to temperature. But that's all the changes for the 2020 and a half Travatos. And from all of us here at Colonial, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 1-800-265-9019 or send us a message when you're finished with the video. And from all of us here at the Jersey Coast, thanks for watching and drive carefully.